I'm Marco Fontana. I'm 20 years old, and I'm making this video to explain why I'm a fitness coach, what got me started, why the gym, why sports had such a big impact and made such a big difference in my life. Okay, so ever since I was little, I've always been a younger brother. My older brother took all the risks for me, and since I was little, I never really had to do much. Okay, I never had to work for much to get stuff. I had so much of what I wanted, but I had done so little to earn it. All the money I hadn't worked for it. The clothes I had were passed on from my brother or from my dad. My privileges, even going out, everything weren't because I earned it. They were because my brother had taken the risk and it worked with him. So my parents also implemented it with me. Everything I had done, everything I had wasn't of my own merit. It wasn't of my own work. It wasn't my achievement. And that started to translate into laziness because I've always been good in everything. I've always been good in sports in general, in school in general. I've always been able to get away with such minimal effort. I had abnormal talent. I had abnormal capabilities. But because I had these abnormal capabilities, with minimal effort, I was able to stay slightly above average. I was able to, with normal habits, stay above average. Okay, so the best way I can say this is with abnormal capabilities, I paired that with normal habits or subnormal habits to remain a normal person. And that translated into the one area of my life, in the one area of your life as well, in which everything you get out of is based on everything you put in. And that's your body. That's the gym. Okay. If you look bad, it is because you have bad inputs. It is because you have bad habits. Whether that be a bad diet, whether that be a bad workout routine, bad consistency, bad discipline, it translates, it shows in your physique. Unless you are an outlier, that 0.01% of people that have insane genetics that can do what they want and still look good, unless you are like that, the gym is one of the harshest areas in life in which you look in the mirror and it tells you exactly what kind of person you are. It tells you exactly what inputs you've been taking. And when I was younger, I was fat. Okay? I was fat. I've always been fat. But I've always been the fat, funny kid. Okay? And I wasn't funny because I was funny. I was funny because I did dumb shit. Because I try to get attention one way or the other, whether it be good, whether it be bad. Right? I wanted to put attention in other areas of my life so that the attention wasn't on the fact that I was fat. Because I was acting a fool. I was doing dumb stuff. Right? Just putting myself in dumb situations for the sake of making people laugh, for the sake of diverting the attention elsewhere. Of, okay, at least they're laughing at what I'm doing and not at the fact that I'm fat. Okay, at least they're paying attention to the fact that I'm, doing this dumbass challenge and they're not paying attention to the fact that I'm fat. Okay. And I used to say, oh, I don't care. I don't care what people think of me. Right? And I used to think that was a sign of confidence. I used to think, damn, I don't care what people think. That's a sign of confidence. It wasn't out of confidence, however. I truly didn't care what people thought of me simply because I didn't care what I thought of myself. Not because I was confident in myself and I was like, oh, I know what I'm doing is right. Not in that aspect. It was because I cared so little about myself. It was because I saw myself in such a little way that I simply could not care less. In my mind, my thought process was, okay, I'm already fat. They're already gonna laugh at me. They already think little of me. Might as well do this and gain something out of it. Gain some sort of friendship out of it. Gain some sort of attention out of it. Be somewhat relevant. Be known as the funny kid. Not because I was funny, because I did dumb shit, because they weren't laughing with me. They were laughing at me. And at the time, I tried to convince myself that no, 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 it's because I'm funny. But it wasn't. It wasn't. And so this fat mentality, this contaminated other areas of my life. It contributed to a lack of confidence, a lack of will, a lack of purpose. And it's not like I didn't know what I had to do. I knew what I had to do. I just didn't do it. I had no initiative. Sometimes I tried, but I couldn't stay disciplined. I remember when I was a bit younger, me and my friends, we started to do this HIIT program to lose weight for summer, right? And my friends were fine. My friends just wanted to improve their physique. I was the one that actually needed it, right? And this program is called Insanity. And I truly think the program does work. Truly do think. It didn't work with me, however, because I didn't stick to it. Because I was a lazy fuck. Because every day we were supposed to take a picture and send a picture to each other showing and proving that we had done the workout to keep each other accountable. I just went there, hit the warm-up, sent a picture, sweating a little bit, and stopped. They're going, oh, I feel it so much, this and that, I'm so sore. No. And I thought, the funny thing is, I thought I was tricking them. I was like, oh, okay, they're going to think I'm doing it. But then, they were done with the program, they were looking better, I was looking the same. I was still fat. The one person that needed it didn't do it. And I was like, damn. They're just more motivated than me. You know, I thought they were just superior to me in a mental state, and they were, not because they were more motivated than me, but because the person they were translated their physique. Okay, let me explain. They had the identity of someone that worked out. They had the identity of someone that was lean, and so they acted as such. My identity wasn't that. I had basically given up on the challenge before it even started. I'm going to explain why I even wanted to do this challenge. What I wanted to get out of this challenge wasn't a better lifestyle. I wanted a quick fix. I wanted to find a way in which I could quickly get lean and then go back to my old ways. Go back to being a lazy fuck. Go back to eating like shit. Go back to snacking, binging, all of these things. And maybe I would even be able to go and get lean. Maybe I would. But I guarantee that with the mindset I had, without shifting my identity, while staying fat, saying, oh, I'm only going to do this and then I'm going to go back to what I was doing, or I'm going to do this and then I'm going to reward myself with a burger or something, that's the wrong mentality. Because I guarantee the second that program was over, had I actually followed through with it, if I stuck with that mentality, I would have gone back exactly to how I was. Exactly the same. Because the only thing that changed was physiological. And that can't be the only thing that changes when you start the gym. And that's why the gym changed my life. Because it wasn't just a physiological change. The physiological change was a reflection, was a consequence of my mental change, of my identity shift. I didn't just join the gym just to have a quick fix. I joined the gym to solve a problem. Not to put duct tape or a band-aid on the cut. I went there to stitch it up, to heal the cut. Okay? My life was bleeding. I was bleeding out. I was fat, low on confidence, doing the bare minimum to get away with stuff. Zero satisfaction in that, zero purpose, zero meaning to what I was doing. I don't know how that sounds to you, but to me that sounds like the worst possible life you can live. And that's why it had to change. And at the time, I didn't realize all of these things, right? I didn't realize how horrible expectations I had, how horrible standards I lived by, how horrible my habits were, how horrible my quality of life was. I used to say I'm happy. I wasn't happy, I just wasn't sad. It's very different. It's very different. I wasn't happy. Happy comes from when you actually fulfill something. When you actually find a purpose and you start to chase it, you start to fulfill it. That's what the gym was for me. The gym wasn't just me getting a good chest, me getting good abs, me getting shoulders, veins. It was the confidence that came with it. It was the dedication I learned through it. It was the discipline, the work ethic. Every single lesson I've learned in sports, every single lesson I learned in the gym, I've translated that into my life. And there's not one thing you can do in the gym. There's not one thing you can't learn in the gym that you can't apply in your life. There isn't. There isn't. Whether it be minimally. I can give you 20 examples off the top of my head right now. Discipline, consistency, keep doing the reps, repetition, doing the same thing, the same workout, the same split over and over. That is going to lead to the great physique you have right now. It's not an exciting thing every day. It's not every day you have a new, exciting, shiny gym session to attend to. No. It's the same gym session you hit last week. Maybe with an extra rep. Maybe with an extra kilo on the weight. But it is the same repetition over and over. And that is the truth of it. And no one talks about that because no one sells it. No one sells this life. No one sells the discipline. No one is able to sell the repetition. But that's the truth. That's where the actual results come. In the every single day showing up. Every single day doing the same thing you did yesterday, you did last week. Eating by the same rules, living by the same rules. That's what actually works, but no one wants to sell it because it's not a quick fix. People are looking for a quick fix. That's not a solution. Like I said, it's a band-aid to stop your wound from bleeding for a week. But it doesn't heal the wound. It doesn't heal it. There's no point in putting a band-aid if you're going to keep cutting yourself. There's no point. There just isn't. And so that's what the gym was for me. It was a life lesson. It was it was a new way to live by. That's what it was. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the body isn't what changes. Physiologically, yes. Yes, you've actually grown. Yes, your chest is looking good. And yes, you pride yourself. You have pride that you were able to build that body. But once again, it is not that you have those shoulders. It is that you built those shoulders. It is that you built that body, not that you have it. You're proud that you have it because you're proud that you built it. That's the true key factor. It's not the acquisition. It's the process to get and acquire it. That's where the true pride comes in because that's where all the work was done. That's where all the work was put in. That's where all the lessons were learned. That's where all the growth was made. That's why the gym upgrades your life by 110%. Yes, there's also the chemical factors that you get more dopamine, more serotonin, all of these things. You improve your sleep, you improve your mood, you feel better. But mentally, it's a huge switch, and that's what I exhibit so much. That's what highlight so much is that the mental switch is the most important part because everything else is a consequence of your mental switch. Everything else is a consequence of your mental switch. And I can tell you everything. I can tell you everything. But you won't know it. You won't actually know it until you feel it, until you experience it. You can't explain it. You can't teach it. You need to go through it. I can guide you. Someone can guide you. Someone can give you a structure, an outline to follow. But you need to experience it to understand. And the gym, the confidence you build in the gym. Everyone thinks, oh, I'm going to get girls now that I go to the gym. It's not because you have a good body. And the girls that you do get because you have a good body, why do you even want them? Like they're focusing on your physique. Like, oh my god, he has big biceps. Why do you even want that girl? That's like just chasing a girl for her ass. Or just chasing a girl for her boobs. And if you do that, bro, like, like, what are you doing? But it is the character you develop with getting those abs. It is the confidence you portray because of the confidence you've built. Okay, let me explain this. When you're scrawny, when you're fat, when you're skinny fat, when you're not at the best shape you can be, you're low at confidence because you've essentially done nothing. You haven't proven to yourself that you're worthy of something else than what you have, so you're low on confidence. You don't believe in yourself. So that leaks into the other areas of your life, and that's why you can't get girls. It's not because you don't have a good body, it's because you're not confident in yourself and you don't exhibit that. When you go to the gym, you start to work on your body, you start to build that confidence. And that confidence starts to leak into the other areas of your life, and you start to act with such confidence that was built in the gym. And when you do that, girls see that confidence, they feel that confidence, and they're attracted to that. It's not because you have a good body, it's because you are confident. I think that's the note I'm going to leave it on. This is why I want to help people change their lives. Because this is how I changed mine. And this is the best way to do it. I've gone through the pain. I've gone through the struggle. I know what it's like to be feeling like shit, looking like shit, believing that you are shit. And I know what it's like feeling good, looking good, believing you are worthy of everything you've built. That's that.